Hello and welcome to this new video from CareerPropeller.com. My name is Jonathan. In this video, we're going to talk about people who are being made redundant. This is aimed at people who are facing redundancy at the moment as a result of the virus and everything that's going on in the world at the moment. This is for you. Hello and welcome to this video today. This one is all about facing redundancy. Now, it is a horrible, horrible situation to be in. I've been there myself, as I'm sure many of you watching this have been as well. And if you're in that position at the moment, you have my sympathies, because I know exactly what it feels like. It is unpleasant. You feel like you've sort of been rejected, like you're not wanted anymore. But you know, the most important thing here is to be positive. And we're going to help you to get through this and to get another job. And the quicker you take action, the quicker you will have another job. And this can all be a distant memory. Okay, so that's what we're going to help you with. Just to mention, obviously on careerpropeller.com, there's loads of free resources. Everything on there for candidates is free. And that's my 20 plus years of experience as a recruiter, as a hiring manager, as a trainer. I have a complete course on there, 32 modules around how to approach the interview process, how to prepare for each interview. I've not seen anything as good. I'll blow my own trumpet there and say that I think it's an excellent course. And if I had that when I was starting out, would have made a massive difference to me. So do go on to careerpropeller.com. All you have to do is just create a free account, and then you've got access to everything. So do go on there. That's really going to help you. But in the meantime, let's talk about what you need to do today let's get this thing moving. Okay, now first thing is update your CV. Okay, now normally you should have a CV updated regularly anyway. When I was sort of in the job market, as in when I wasn't working for myself, when I was permanently employed by companies, I'd update my CV every sort of 3 to 6 months, just because you never know. And it's always good to have the latest sort of role on there and what you've been up to, what you've been doing. But if you haven't, don't worry. Today is the day you need to update your CV, okay? I want you to take a really positive attitude to this as well. Okay, so don't think, oh, I'm losing my job, I'm getting made redundant, I need to update my CV. It's like, right, I've done some amazing things in my career. I've got some brilliant achievements. I'm going to start talking about them. And one place to do that is on your CV. Okay, now we will have another video on CV writing, and probably we're going to have a free training module. It's not there yet, but it will be there. But in the meantime, there's loads of free resources online where you can find out how to write a CV. To me, the best CVs I ever saw when I was in recruitment from the most senior people, talking about board level executives of big corporate firms, 2 pages. Okay, anything other than 2 pages, anything over 2 pages, you're really trying to justify why you should be doing that job when you're applying. So let's just have a little brief overview of this. So 2 pages maximum, you can get pretty much everything on there. Your earlier experience, you can put that just as one line. So if you had say if you're in your 40s and you started out doing a job when you were 20, then you don't need to put much detail into that. What companies are interested in is what you've done most recently, and then going back 3 or 4 jobs, so that it's showing relevant experience for the job that you're applying for. Okay, that is the most important thing. Because people say to me, oh, well, I've got so many jobs going back, I can't get them all on 2 pages. But really, with the best will in the world, companies that you're applying to now are not interested in what you did in a job 20 years ago, which doesn't really have any bearing on what you're actually doing now. So keep the CV to 2 pages. Concentrate on the most relevant experience, the most recent experience. You need to put in there some achievements. So instead of just saying my role was to do this, it's job title, but then put some key achievements in there. So I increased sales by 20% in the first 12 months in the job. I won the company 50 new accounts in 2 years, whatever it might be. I as a purchasing director or purchasing manager, I saved the company £5 million year on year, or $5 million if you're in the States, year on year, by putting in place a supplier review process. they are achievements. And when your CV is going to land in front of a recruiter, either internal or external, they're looking for those things. I don't know if you know the average time that a recruiter will look at a CV for, but it's about 20 to 30 seconds. And the other thing you're dealing with now is you're dealing with applicant systems, applicant tracking systems that actually, it's called parsing. They pass your CV into their system using keywords. So, you have very little time to grab the attention of a recruiter, even if your CV gets in front of them. Okay. But what we're doing in all of these videos and all of our advice on careerpropeller.com is to help you get in front of that recruiter and then to impress them and to get the job. That's the whole point of this site. Okay. And that's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm going to do for you. Okay. So 2 pages on your CV, most recent experience and most relevant experience. You want to put achievements in there. And that's ideally you put numbers on things. So as I said before, I saved the company $5 million. I increased the revenue by 10%. You've got to put numbers on it because that's tangible. That's something that a recruiter can get hold of and say, wow, this person really, has done some good stuff in that company. The other thing you need to have at the top of your CV is what I call a living paragraph. So it's sort of a profile really of you, and it's 1 paragraph. It's at the top of your CV, and that changes depending on which job you're going for. Because again, you have to tailor your CV for each opportunity. We talk about that in our course on the careerpropeller.com site. It's very important that when you're applying for a job, you tailor your CV, because you can write a CV in lots of different ways. So I'm not saying that you should embellish or change or be economical with the truth. But what I'm saying is, if you've done like we said, a purchasing manager role, there's lots of different facets to that. One day you're doing a supplier review, the next day you're looking at an overall strategy for purchasing, and the next day you might be hiring a team. So you do lots of different things, and you need to look at the job spec of the job that you're going for and tailor your CV to show that you have done those things. Of course, you have to have done those things to be able to say you've done them, but you can write a CV in several different ways and sort of lean it more towards the job that you're applying for. It's very, very important. Okay, so 2 pages, achievements, and your living paragraph at the top. Okay, that's the basic CV that you need to put together. But point 1 in this video is update your CV. Okay, without an updated CV, you're going nowhere. So get that done today. Number 2 is update your LinkedIn profile. Now, LinkedIn profiles are sort of like an online CV, really, written slightly differently. But LinkedIn is very, very effective now. There's hundreds of millions of users on there. Recruitment companies and internal recruiters pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars or pounds a year to use that service. They are on there looking for candidates all day, every day. You need to be able to be found on there. So update your LinkedIn profile. Now, you can specify on there whether you're looking for work, because recruiters will do searches on that basis. They'll look for people who are looking for work. You can change your biography. So at the top, where it might say at the moment, I'm a learning and development manager, or it might say I'm a sales representative. You can change that opening biography sort of line to say, I'm looking for another opportunity, or I am a salesperson looking for my next role. That will show up to recruiters and it will catch their eye. Okay, which is what you need to do at the moment. You need to be visible. You need to be out there. You need to be seen. But also on the LinkedIn profile is to update your most recent role. And again, achievements, you put in there what your achievements are. That's what people are looking for. So it might be that you send your CV in for a role. It could be that you get found on LinkedIn by a recruiter. Okay, so you need to do all these things to make sure that you are visible and you're going to get seen. Number 3 in our list is sign up with job boards and upload your latest CV. So CV we've covered because you've done that already. Sign up with job boards, or go on there and review your profile on job boards. So it could have been, you signed up for a job board 6 years ago and you haven't looked at it since. Your profile will still be live on there, but recruiters won't find you because you haven't updated it. So you need to go on there. You can update your salary on some of them. You can update your location. You can update your CV, obviously upload a new version of that. And you can tell recruiters what you're looking for. So it's really important that, again, this is all about visibility. So go onto the job boards, sign up for all the main ones. I mean, you just do a Google search. I'm not going to name names of job boards. We do have jobs available on careerpropeller.com, of course. We have a job board on there, so you can go on there and search as well. But the main thing is to go on and update your profile, make sure your latest CV is on there so that you can be found. Okay, that's very, very important, because as well as you applying for jobs through job boards, recruiters can actually access the databases of these job boards. So the job boards actually charge recruitment companies to go on there and search their databases. So if your CV is 6 years out of date, you're just not even going to get looked at, because they'll probably look at you can do searches, you can filter searches on job board databases where you're looking at the most active candidates. So say I want to look at people who've updated their CV in the last 6 months, or who have updated their profile, etc., etc. So what I'm saying is you have to go on there and have the latest information available about you. Okay, next thing is create a list of target companies. Let's just say, for example, you're an engineer and you're in a position where you're facing redundancy. What I would do, first of all, is look at other companies in your industry that you could most easily move to. So that's where you're taking your skills and you're sort of doing the same job that you've already been doing. Now, there will be other companies, you'll probably be aware of a number of them just off the top of your head. Write them down in a list, and then you need to go on and look for the recruitment manager, head of recruitment, recruitment director. Get some contacts at those companies so that you can start to create a list of who you're going to target. Okay, because we're not going to, when we're working together as we're doing now, I don't want you just to send out faceless CVs to people. Okay, it's not the way to do it, and it's not the way at Career Propeller we would advise you to look for roles. Okay, we don't want you to be a faceless CV. We want you to be someone that they're aware of, someone that they know of, and so when your CV does land, that they say, oh yeah, okay, so I remember Sally, who she phoned me up a couple of months ago. We had a chat. She's very pleasant, and then now we've got this role that's come up, so I'm going to put her forward straight away to the hiring manager, because I know her. I know that she's I know what she's done. I know her achievements, etc., etc., and it's a good CV. I'm going to put it forwards. You've got to think about that situation as opposed to just a CV turning up on someone's desk that isn't really that up to date, hasn't got achievements on it, hasn't got a living paragraph at the top describing what that person does. As a hiring manager or as a recruiter, you are looking for reasons, A, to filter people out, and B, to filter people in. And if the CV doesn't give you enough reasons, then you're going to bin it, unfortunately. It will just go in the no pile. But there's a lot you can do by updating your CV, but especially by being known to those companies already. That makes a huge difference. Okay, so make a list of companies that you would like to work for in your industry, even outside your industry. Think about transferable skills. It's not the easiest route, but if your particular sector of the market is very depressed at the moment, as in they've suffered a lot during the virus, there aren't that many opportunities, and for example, the airline sector is just on its knees at the moment, which is awful. And I know that some people are having to look outside of that industry to continue working. Doesn't mean they can't come back into it, because we will come through this and things will pick up again. But just at the moment, it might be that people have to look elsewhere. So ideally, first of all, you look at the industry you're already in, look at the companies that go onto Google and search for other companies. Might be that there are some startups in that sector that are looking for experience, people who've been there, done it, and then can come in and help the startup to get going. And you probably won't have heard of these startups, because a lot of them are so small, they're hidden away, they're not on your radar, but you can find them through Google searching. Okay, so that is what you need to do. Next one on the list, and the final one on the list actually, is to start calling recruiters, internal and external. So when you've got your list of companies, you need to start making contact with them. So you've got your list of companies, you've got your list of contacts, start emailing them, phoning them up, connecting with them on LinkedIn. You really need to not be a faceless CV, as we've discussed before. You have to be someone that they know. Okay, and the best way to do that is to make contact, is to have a chat and say, look, I work for this company currently. This is my situation. Unfortunately, I'm one of the people that's being made redundant. I'd like to talk about opportunities. At the very least, I'd like you to know who I am, so that when my CV lands with you, you're aware of me and what my capabilities are and what my experience is. No decent recruiter is going to turn down that conversation, okay? Because internal recruiters are targeted on the number of people they get into jobs. External recruiters are targeted on that, but they're also paid on that, okay? Most external recruiters are on a fairly low basic salary, and then they get big commissions on placements that they make. So they absolutely are they want to find good candidates. I was a recruiter, okay? It's very, very exciting when a good candidate lands on your desk and you think, right, this is someone that I can place. And then you start getting on the phone to all of your clients and saying, right, I've got this person, they're available, let's have a chat about getting them in for interview. That's how it works, okay? So you need to be proactive and make contact with internal and external recruiters so that you are on their radar. And so when the opportunities come up, they will come to you. Maybe they'll come to you first. And, sometimes they won't even need to go to other candidates if you're the right person. That's the ideal situation. And that can happen. And that has happened. And I've witnessed that myself. So let's recap. Number one. Well, before we do number one, let's recap and say, this is a horrible situation that you're in. Okay. Redundancy is horrible, but it's a business decision that your company has taken. Okay. Ultimately, the company, it has to survive. And so it's not personal. They have to reduce headcount because of the virus and the market conditions. They're not making as much money as they were. Therefore, they can't have the same amount of people. Now, that sounds brutal and it sounds very cold, but that is the reality. But once you realize that, you can stop thinking about it in a personal way. They were put in a position where they had to move some people on. They couldn't sustain the salary levels that they were paying out because the business is not there. Okay, so don't take it personally. Get that out of your head. All right, it's not a personal thing. It's not against you. It's just business. And it does sound cold, but the sooner you can realize that, the better it will be for you, because you can't dwell on these things. You can't think, oh, did I say something wrong? Was it something I did? Forget about all that. We are taking action today. Okay, you and I are taking action. All right, and we're going to get you through this situation. Right. So let's recap. Number one, update your CV. Get your CV updated today. Living paragraph, examples of work you've done and what you've achieved, and no more than 2 pages. Okay, 2 pages. CVs that are more than 2 pages. They're already lower down the list. Okay, 2 pages is enough, and you can say enough on a 2-page CV. Right. Number 2, update your LinkedIn profile. Similar to a CV, it's more like an online sort of living CV, but you will be found by recruiters on LinkedIn if you've updated your profile and you're making it clear that you're available for work. Okay, so number 2, update your LinkedIn profile. Number 3, sign up with job boards or go on to job boards you already have an account with, and update your profile and upload your latest CV. As I said before, recruiters look on job boards for candidates. As I said, I was a recruiter. When you come across a candidate on a job board that looks good, it is very exciting because you know that you can make a commission on it. And you want to place people. Your job is to find good people that your clients will hire. Okay, so go on those job boards, update your CV, upload your latest CV, update your profile. Very, very important. And if you're not on the job boards, get signed up today. Okay, you've got to put yourself out there as much as possible so that you only need one recruiter to find you to get you a job. Okay, so get out there and do that. Number 4 was create a list of target companies and the contacts within those companies. So either companies in your industry, or if your industry is particularly hit by what's going on at the moment, you may need to look outside your industry, but you've got to think there about transferable skills. So, what can I do that I can transfer to another industry. And obviously you want to be looking at industries that haven't suffered so much. I mean, retail, big retail certainly is up. Online businesses are booming, depending on what sector they're in. And it's the more traditional, what you'd call bricks and mortar businesses that have had to close, and maybe they haven't picked up so quickly, or maybe their market serves that type of sector that are struggling at the moment. Okay, so look for industries that are growing and that are busy. It wouldn't take too much searching on Google to find companies that are absolutely, doing great business at the moment. And number 5 on our list is start calling recruiters, both internal and external. So find recruiters that, if you go to the companies themselves, then you'll be able to find the recruitment contacts. Phone them up. Okay, none of this sending a speculative CV. Have you got any opportunities? Phone them up, get them on the phone, and say, look, this is who I am. This is my situation. I'm making you aware of who I am and the fact that I'm available. Okay, they would appreciate that because, again, their job is to place candidates into jobs. Their job is to get people in who they can put in front of their hiring managers who will say, good job, that person you brought in, she was excellent. We want to offer the job. That's the recruiter's job. Okay, so make them aware of who you are. And that goes for external recruiters as well. So find recruitment people, recruitment companies that specialize in different sectors, in your sector, for example, and make contact and phone them up and say, this is who I am, this is my situation, this is what I want to do. They'll be even more welcoming to you because, of course, their livelihood depends on placing candidates. So those are the 5 points for today. But overall, you can do this. Okay, this is something that it is, as I say, a horrible situation, but please be positive. Things will get better, and I'm here to help you. Okay, so you can drop a comment below. You can go to careerpropeller.com and you can sign up for all of our free content. So everything's free. And as I say, that's 20 years of my experience in being a recruiter, being a hiring manager, being a trainer, all rolled into that site to help you to get the job that you really want. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe this like this video and subscribe to this channel because there'll be more videos. I'm trying to upload one a week and I've done that so far and I'll continue to do that. And if there's any suggestions you have for any content you would like to see, any videos on specific things, do let me know in the comments below. For the moment, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.